Today we're going to be looking at two of the most affordable night vision thermal fusion setups you can buy. The Nightfox Prowl 2 digital night vision monocular combined with their new Arctic thermal, and then the Night Operator's Heat and Viper system. Both of these units retail for around $700, so for anyone looking to get into the budget side of night vision and thermal together, this is definitely going to be an informative video for you to watch, because we're going to take a look at them side by side, compare specs and performance, and how well the fusion works to help you get a good idea of which system might be best for you. Before we dive in, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and in a few weeks we're going to be comparing a handful of budget helmet mounted thermal systems side by side. A few weeks ago we also looked at some similar thermal fusion setups with the NVG 50, the NVG 30, and the NVG 90, together with the Armasight Mini SK320 thermal, and we've also explored some high-end thermal fusion setups like the GNG GF20 and the GF31. So if you're interested in thermal fusion and want to explore some more higher end setups, there will be links to those videos down in the description. Alright, so let's check out these thermal fusion bino setups. So the Nightfox kit features the Prowl 2 digital night vision monocular and their new Arc thermal, and we also did a more in-depth dive into this kit a few weeks ago and also reviewed the Arctic thermal as well, and there will be links to those videos down in the description. With the Nightfox system, both units share identical body designs, so you can easily mount either device over either eye, which gives you a lot of versatility. The Nightfox Prowl 2 is definitely a nice upgrade in pretty much every way to the original Prowl, and both of these devices do have video recording capabilities. This is the Night Operator's Heat and Viper kit, and due to the body design and the battery compartment placement of the Night Operator systems, the thermal can really only go over the left eye. Neither of these devices have video recording capabilities, so capturing footage is a bit more difficult and lower quality, and the experience using these devices is definitely going to be better than what we see when we look through the footage recorded via smartphone. Night Operators also upgraded their night vision from the Max 2.0, and both units now run on 18650 batteries, which is a nice improvement over the original built-in battery that was in their Max 2.0, and there's no doubt that this latest iteration is a significant upgrade to earlier models. However, the low light performance seems to be pretty much the same with the new Viper unit compared to the Max 2.0, so there's really no noticeable upgrade on that front. Both bridges have a dovetail adapter that can connect to the Wilcox systems like the G24 mount. With Nightfox's build, the dovetail is made of a hard polymer, but the Night Operators is made from aluminum, so the build quality is definitely a little bit better with Night Operators. Alright, so now we're going to get into a discussion on fusion and how the thermal and digital night vision devices combine in your brain when you actually use them. These are what the industry considers to be side-by-side setups, meaning that you get digital night vision in one eye and thermal in the other, and then your brain is left to fill in the gap and fuse the two images together in real time. In my experience testing thermal fusion side-by-side setups like these, you definitely notice a wide range of usability. Other more advanced systems fuse night vision together with thermal in the same screen, so overall the experience of those setups is much better, but it's also far more expensive, and it's very impressive, and both the GF31 and the GF20 do this quite well. With Nightfox's system, the first thing you do is set the Prowl 2 to black and white mode, and then the Arctic, my preferred thermal setting, is going to be the red hot mode, which pairs nicely with the black and white color palette on the Prowl 2. And when you actually look at the screens, the Prowl 2 will be in full screen, and the Arctic screens will be slight when in Prowl 2 pairing mode for the thermal fusion and oriented towards the left of the screen. But with this setting, your brain can do a reasonably good job of fusing the two images together for a relatively good fusion experience with a solid night vision view in your peripherals, with thermal towards the center right of your view. With Night Operators, you only get the light blue white phosphor emulation mode, which doesn't quite work together with the Heat's various thermal palettes, but we're going to start with the red hot mode for the sake of consistency. The fields of view are actually very nearly identical and easy for your brain to process, and you don't need to make any adjustments to the thermal to get things aligned properly, and overall the fusion experience is relatively seamless and only very slightly off, so in my experience the advantage would definitely go to the Night Operators in this comparison solely for the fusion experience and the full screen thermal fusion effect. Now we're going to talk about just the digital night vision performance alone. Both of these devices represent the budget side of the digital night vision performance market and are both going to be heavily reliant on IR lighting in most circumstances. The performance of the Nightfox Prowl 2 is slightly better compared to the Night Operator's Viper, so there is an advantage here, and if you are concerned about having an IR signature, then you will be less reliant on IR lighting with this device compared to the Night Operator's Viper. Here's a comparison shot showing these two devices in 4 4 different step lighting conditions, and also we're comparing it to the NVG 50. As you can see, the Prowl 2 is slightly better than the Viper, but they both fall off completely past level 2, and the NVG 50 is still able to produce a slight picture at level 3, so that device is definitely a step up in low light, no IR performance compared to these budget devices. However, both the Prowl 2 and the Viper are running at 60 frames per second, and the NVG 50 is only running at 40. When it comes to the thermal component of your Fusion setup, the Night Operator's Heat and the Nightfox Arctic are the two most popular options in the price range. They differ in some meaningful ways. The Heat runs on a 296 by 192 sensor at 60 Hz with a wide 45 degrees field of view and 25 millikelvin thermal sensitivity. The wide field of view is a real advantage in a Fusion configuration where you want maximum situational awareness. The Arctic comes in with a 256 by 192 sensor and at 50 frames per second and a slightly better sub 30 millikelvin sensitivity rating, but its field of view is considerably narrower at just under 24 degrees. The Arctic does beat out the Heat on detection ranges, 150 meters versus 100, and it brings an IP65 weatherproofing and 9-hour battery life to the table. Both share the same 12 micron pixel pitch, so the core sensor technology is comparable. We're planning to do a dedicated deep dive on these two in an upcoming video, but for the purposes of Fusion, just know that the Heat's wider field of view generally makes it the more natural fit for helmet mounted thermal overlay to work. So after putting both of these systems through their paces, here is where I land. The Nightfox kit is the stronger all-around package. The Prowl 2 is a genuinely capable piece of gear. Both units share the same body design, giving you full left or full right eye flexibility, and the fact that both devices have video recording built in is a big deal when the Night Operators gives you nothing on that front. The Fusion experience is solid, and being able to run either unit over the right or left eye opens up configuration options that the Night Operator system simply can't match due to the body design. Night Operators does have a slight advantage in the Fusion overlay experience specifically, and the aluminum dovetail is definitely a nice touch. At around $700 either way, you're getting side-by-side thermal fusion at a price point that wasn't possible not long ago. If you want a better rounded system with more versatility and the ability to capture footage, now the Nightfox system is probably the one that you should go for, and I do carry those over at Goodnight Gear, which is linked to down in the description. If you found this helpful, drop a like and subscribe, and in the next few weeks we're going to do a dedicated side-by-side comparison of budget helmet mounted thermals, and that one is going to be a good one to watch. See you in the next one.